Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Chamber. Let me start by adding my congratulations to Bruce. When I came up on the stage, I said the first of many efforts to express our appreciation. The award is richly deserved, and not just for what he's done for legal reform, but for all of the victories he's helped to deliver to the business community, and for his willingness after he gets through his first grumpy, what do you mean, question to help people all around this building, the key jobs, do what they do far beyond what is his normal responsibility, and all of us are going to particularly miss that. He's been a formidable force on virtually every issue that the Chamber fights for, from legal reform and all of the issues that Lisa mentioned. I'd also like to thank Lisa and her team for the great work they're doing to advance legal reform in this time and at this time and in this place. The summit theme says it all. We're up against a litigation machine. An aggressive and innovative trial bar has helped create a legal environment that serves its own interests, not the interests of our system of justice or our people or our companies. We also have a system that is rife with prosecutorial abuse, over-enforcement, over-criminalization of business, and where did all of those fines go? We've seen a proliferation of class action lawsuits that have no merit, that allow unharmed individuals to join suits and that have given rise to serial plaintiffs. Data privacy issues have become a bright new frontier, a new business in lawsuit abuse, and an entire industry has cropped up to go to court on financial litigation. As Lisa highlighted in her remarks today, the litigation machine is in overdrive, and it's hobbling our economy, sucking the vitality out of American companies, and undermining our fragile economy and eroding due process rights for business. That's why legal reform is one of the top priorities of this institution, the Chamber of Commerce of the United States. But today, Lisa asked me to talk briefly about another priority. That is the particularly timely one. We are less than 2 weeks from a major election, so I want to spend the rest of my time discussing not so much that election, but what's at stake for the business community. You know, every 4 years, people say the same thing. This is one of the most consequential elections of our lifetime. You know, this time, it may be true. The 2016 campaign has been unpredictable from its start, unprecedented, and at times downright bizarre. I think many of us are ready for this ride to be over, but then we have to deal with the result. And November 8th will be a real reckoning time for the community, this community, and for the country. Oh, by the way, in the Senate, we will be in December and January with some of the runoffs in, we'll be in Georgia, and I think we'll be in Louisiana. So stay tuned, more to do. Let's consider for a moment some of the things that could be on the line depending on who's elected and who owns the Senate. The Supreme Court hangs in the balance. More and more major policies impacting business are being decided at the highest court. By the way, we sort of like that because we're very damn good at it. The next administration could transform a 9-seat court with as many as 3 or 4 new appointments. Harry Reid mentioned in the last day or so that he's getting ready to figure out how he could help get rid of the 60-vote rule. And this is one consequence that we'll have to live with, not just for 4 or 8 years, but maybe for 25 years to come. The fate of our economy is at stake. The next president and the Congress will inherit one of the slowest, weakest economic recoveries in our history. If history holds, we're headed into a recession. You know, you get them every 7 or 8 years. We're a little behind the curve. We can't afford another 4 years of the same government-directed economic policies that have kept us limping along, 0.5%, 1%, 2% at best. The Chamber is urging our leaders to make growth the center of their agenda next year. We're talking to both parties. Growth won't solve our problems, but we won't be able to solve any of them without it. The size and role of government is poised to grow larger and more intrusive next year. And I would point out that much of the frustration and many of the actions in both parties are driven at that very subject. Whomever occupies the White House next is likely to push more executive power. They've learned something from President Obama, and they'll try and build on it. We could see taxes rise steeply to pay for a bigger government agenda, and who's likely to bear the brunt of those taxes? Any person or business who has achieved a little success. Meanwhile, our entitlement programs are growing faster than we can pay for them and threaten the sustainability of our social safety net. And some candidates are talking about expanding them, not fixing them for the long haul. We may also face a double down on regulation, including Obamacare, or even a move forward on the single-payer healthcare system. And another vital U.S. industry can continue to be hobbled by punitive rules. Through overregulation and attacks on our capital markets, we could see further constriction on Wall Street and on the financial markets. We must defend the important role that financial institutions play in fueling our economy, and we must wring out the overregulation that harms consumer lending, small businesses, and entrepreneurs. The energy revolution could be stopped right in its tracks. Some candidates are calling for restrictions or even outright bans on oil, gas, and coal production on federal lands. We should be developing all types of American energy. Doing so will create millions of new, good-paying jobs, strengthen our national security, and generate a flood of government revenue. Our standing in the global economy is clearly at question. The surest way for a country to undermine growth and forfeit leadership in the world is to turn its back on trade. But in our current political environment, trade has become a new third rail. We can't let the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the major trade deal with Asia, become a casualty to lame-brained political rhetoric. While continuing to push for a vote on that deal, the business community must make a broader case for trade with facts and passion. Boosting trade will help millions of businesses, large and small, export their products and services around the world. It will allow them to grow and hire workers here at home while giving U.S. economy a shot in the arm. Beyond policy, the pro-business majority of Congress is under threat. The Chamber doesn't do presidential politics, but we aggressively engage in the House and Senate races. All of the policy stakes I've just outlined may seem like a hinge on the outcome. They'll hinge on the outcome of the presidential election. I suggest that what happens in the House and Senate can and must serve as a backstop against the policies that harm our economy and as a means to advance the priorities that will help drive growth for all of us. That's why the Chamber has put it all on the line to preserve a pro-business majorities in the Congress and especially the Senate. And now our focus is getting out. If you've been taking a quick nap, the deal here, the guys that get the vote out are going to win. And we have a very aggressive program with hundreds of companies around this country to get the CEO. I tell them, send the lobbyists, send the politicians, send the lawyers to the ball game, and just for once, run the company. And tell those people that work for you how important it is that they and their neighbors and their family get out to vote. And if we do that, we're going to be in much better condition.